couple months ago I came out in the shop and did a video review of the MakeBlock xTool D1 diode laser engraver cutter, and I'll put a link to that video review in the description below so you can go back and see that, because what I want to talk about today are some of the accessories that MakeBlock has now sent me to go with this laser, and really some excellent products, so I wanted to take a few minutes to show you what I got. Got three products here, accessories for the xTool D1 that I want to talk about tonight. They're all excellent products. xTool or MakeBlock is quickly having a reputation of building very solid, high quality products, and none of these accessories are any exception to that. They're all extremely well made. The first one I want to talk about is the Honeycomb. We'll talk about the quality of that, why you might want it. I've got the new Air Assist module. We'll talk about that. And last, I've got the new Rotary Assist device that is just kind of out of this world, to be honest with you. Although I don't use a rotary tool in my day-to-day operations here in the shop. I use the lasers every day, but I don't use a rotary, so I may not have as much expertise in that as some others will have, but I'll show you the basic functions of what it can do, and we'll go from there. The first accessory I want to talk about is the xTool Honeycomb that is made for the xTool D1 laser, and it is, like I said earlier, very high quality. I think I own 4 different honeycombs, and this is by far the nicest one I have. As a matter of fact, you can see it's had a lot of use, and that's because I've been using it in all my other lasers also. It's just very well made. A few things about a honeycomb that I personally like to have, and one is I want it to be magnetic because I use magnets to hold down my pieces. None of my other honeycombs, with the exception of one, are magnetic, and the one that is magnetic honeycomb tends to warp quite a bit and doesn't stay flat, so it makes it a little harder to keep your focus on the laser right. So not too much to say about a honeycomb other than the fact that we'll talk about what the benefits of the honeycomb are in the next segment here. Let's talk about the benefits of having a honeycomb and why I think you should have a honeycomb or some other bed. I use a bed of nails, and I've used several different things to back up my piece that I'm cutting, but this honeycomb works well. When the laser cuts through a piece of wood, the smoke and the debris and the heat needs to escape the other side of the wood, otherwise it burns the back side of the wood or leaves a lot of residue. So what I'm going to do here on this first test cut, I've got a board laid here, and then the board on top of it is the one that I'm going to cut. So we don't have a honeycomb behind this board that we're getting ready to cut a circle in. So let's make a test cut here. I'm just going to do a small circle. And when we get done, we'll flip it over and look and see what the back looks like. Okay, so now you see when we turn this over, see the back side of our cut? It's burned all to pieces. So let's do that same cut again. Let's remove this backer board, refocus our laser, because we will need to do that. Now let's make that same test cut again and look at the back side this time. So now we've removed the backer board, we're just using the honeycomb to back up our cut. And now when we take this board out and flip it over, you can see what we have. Completely different scenario than what we have without the honeycomb. So you can see it's very obvious why you need a honeycomb, and if you're going to get one, you might as well get a good one. They're not inexpensive. They do cost a few bucks, but don't buy a cheap one. You'll regret it. Get one of these that stays nice and flat, solidly well built, and magnetic. I love the magnetic function of it, so I think you'll find that this xTool Honeycomb is one of the best you can buy. The next accessory that MakeBlock sent me that I want to talk about is the new Air Assist module. Now, many of these diode lasers don't come with Air Assist, and even some of the CO2 lower end lasers don't. but it really is a critical feature that you need to have. And again, as they always do, MakeBlock has done an excellent job with the quality of this little air compressor. It comes on these rubber mounted feet, so if you've ever used some of the aquarium pumps that they give with some of the low-end CO2 lasers, you'll know that when you turn them on, they tend to want to walk across the room on you. This one stays just where you put it. It's very quiet, which is nice, and it seems to provide enough power to do the job. The air assist comes with the compressor, it comes with the tubing, it comes with a new attachment to hook the hose up to it, and it comes with a new shield that has a hole in the side for everything to get through. I won't go into putting it together because it's, again, another very simple process. You just take this shield off, put the new nozzle on, and attach the hose and plug it in, and you're ready to go. So what I want to do now is show you the difference between having air assist turned on and not having it turned on. I'm going to make two test cuts here. The first one is going to be without air assist. The second one will be with air assist, and we'll take a look at the difference. Here again is the without air assist. Now I'll move the laser over. I'm going to reach back here and plug in the air assist module. And you can probably hear the sound of the air module. You can tell it's pretty quiet. Much more quiet than a compressor. Okay, now we're going to do that same cut with air assist turned on. And some of these things may not seem so critical, but when you get into wanting to increase the quality of your engraves and your cuts, these accessories really do make a big difference. So I'm going to pick this up, try to bring it up close to the camera so you can see the difference. Let's see if I can get it lined up. Here's the cut without the air assist, and here it is with the air assist. So you can see this cut's going to require, once we take it out, it's going to require some sanding, and this cut is as clean as it can be just because of the air assist. Now the air assist does more than just keep the board clean. It also has a tendency to, if you have a flame up, which you will eventually have, you'll have a board that'll catch on fire. The air assist will blow that flame out, and you're much less likely to have a fire. The other thing that it does, which is extremely important also, is that it actually, because it's blowing the debris down and away, it's keeping that debris off the lens and the laser, so it's keeping it much cleaner, which over a period of time makes a big difference in your power. So air assist module, I think it's a must-have if you're going to do high quality work, and the one from xTool works as well as any I've seen. The last accessory I want to talk about today is the new Rotary assist device. It's called the Pro version from xTool, and like I said earlier, I'm not an expert with the Rotary tool. I don't use them very often. Actually, this was the first one I've used, the one that came with the xTool. Originally I hadn't used it yet, so I'm still experimenting, but basically what I want to do is just quickly tell you what it is, since we're a scroll saw blog and most of you, or many of you, won't be into the lasers as deeply as some others maybe. But basically the Rotary tool does just what it sounds. It allows you to engrave on mugs, cups, any cylindrical shaped objects like we're doing right here. And the advantage of the Pro version are all the accessories that come with it to hold the pieces in. We've got end holders, we've got chucks, and we've got stabilizers, and I'm just going to quickly go through those. So I'm going to let it finish engraving this John Wayne onto this little cylinder. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll talk about the accessories that go with it. And I didn't put a whole lot of effort into editing this photo to make it look real good, but there's a little image of John Wayne on this little dowel rod, and there's probably several projects in the scroll saw community that engraving would be handy. Bowls, you can make cups. This little ball right here would be interesting to engrave on. I've got this little goblet that I made on a scroll saw. This could be kind of cool. So let's talk about some of the accessories that come with the Rotary Assist device and see what we can put on it. I've got the Rotary device in here with the end chucks attached to it, and as you can see I've got a little terracotta pot clamped into the chuck, and I'm going to try to engrave my wife's name on the side of this terracotta pot. I think it'll work. I'm not sure if I've got the name. You have to mirror the name so it comes out right side up and upside down and all that stuff. So let's hit start and see if it works. Oh, it's starting out with a P. That's a pretty good sign because her name's Patty. So we'll let it finish here. I think it said it would take 3 minutes to finish it, so I'll probably edit some of this out. But it's actually engraving really nicely on the pot. And got her first name done. Let's let it finish up here. I think even just something like this with this rotary attachment, just customizing these small flower pots could be a lucrative little side craft. And we're getting a very clean burn. The air assist is really working well. And we're just about done here. I think that's pretty impressive. Did a really nice job. Here's another interesting little attachment. These little mandrels, you can screw them into the chuck and use them on the inside of a ring, which is what I've done here. I've got a little soft maple wooden ring that we're going to try to engrave my wife's name on, and let's see how this goes. It says it's going to take a minute, so I'll just let it go ahead and run here, and let's see how this does. In the demonstration that MakeBlock did on their video on YouTube, they actually set this up at an angle where they engraved on the inside of the ring also, which was pretty interesting. You just take the mandrels and close them down on the outside of the ring and then tilt it just enough to where the laser can get onto the inside. That was an interesting thing to do. And this looks like this is turning out pretty cool. I'm just going to go ahead and let this run here. The accessories on this that come with this Pro version of the Rotary device are really pretty remarkable. There's very little that I can think of that you wouldn't be able to hold using these tools. That was pretty cool. Let's get it out and take a look at it. I think that's pretty awesome. You could put decorations all the way around the ring, or maybe even better, a bracelet, a wooden bracelet. A little finish on this and some finish sanding to smooth it out. I think that's a pretty cool little project. Here's another accessory, this little end cup here, holding this circular ball in there, so you can see Christmas ornaments. Would be pretty interesting to do. I think that would work well. The last accessory that comes with it is this little stabilizer, and what this stabilizer does is you can adjust it up and down, so if your piece is longer than the base here, you can put this down here and lay your piece on there and hold it up. And I won't take it apart to do all that because you got to put the rollers back in. But I think you can see this thing is just loaded with features. One thing I do have that's a minor concern is there are a ton of pieces that come with this accessory and a lot of small pieces. So you're going to want to, it comes with a level, it comes with a ruler, it comes with all the little hardware and screws, so you're going to need a box to keep this in. So designing a nice little box that keep everything organized is going to be a project I'm going to put together here pretty soon. So I won't go too much farther with this because, again, it's not a tool that's within my expertise very well. But I think you can see that it's obviously an impressive tool. I'm Steve Good. Thanks for being here with me at the Scroll Saw Workshop, and we'll catch you next time.